Welcome to From the Hood to Hair. I'm Anthony Montoya. Thank you guys for being here. I created this podcast to share my story, the real, unpolished version of what it was like to struggle growing up in the hood, and how I found identity and purpose and a career path in hair. I've been in the hair industry for over 20 years. I work behind the chair, I educate, and I style hair editorially for publications. I've spoken at events, I've won awards, and I've been recognized by fashion magazines and hair industry magazines that have interviewed me about my career path. But none of it makes sense without knowing where I started, and that's why we're here. This isn't just a podcast about hair, it's a podcast about transformation. It's about how you can grow. It's about growing up in circumstances that feel like they're working against you, and how you can still find a way to create a life that you're proud of. Hair just happens to be the vehicle that saved me and gave me purpose. I was raised in the hood, Pacoima, California to be exact, by my mom who raised me as a single mom. There were 4 of us all together, and our dad was what is known as a cholo, a gangster gang member, and spent most of our upbringing in and out of jail. And in that environment, you don't always see examples of who or what you can become in order to make something better out of yourself. In the hood, survival is priority. There were times where I felt lost. There were times where I felt like I was just drifting through the world aimlessly, not knowing if I was going to go left or right. And when you're young, surrounded by struggle, it's really easy to believe that that's all your life is ever going to be. And then something unexpected happened in my life. I stumbled into a hair show one day. Wasn't supposed to be there, totally wasn't my plan, but I was on a date with a hairstylist, and they wanted to go to the Long Beach hair show. And so they invited me to go. What I really wasn't aware of is that you had to be licensed in order to get in. So he forged some paperwork for me. If you know me, those of you who do know me out there, I am strictly a role player, and I have to play by the book. I have to play by the rules. It's just how I operate. So needless to say, I was I was stressed out to get into this hair show. I didn't want to be turned away at the door. How embarrassing that would have been. Anywho, we get in. I get into the hair show, and already the energy is just buzzing. If you are familiar with the Long Beach Convention Center, there are escalators that take you all the way down to the main show floor. And on the way down, I can just feel that energy just beat and through my whole entire system. And from the moment I stepped off the escalator and immersed myself into the crowd that is the hair show, I instantly knew this was different. It changed everything for me. This was the first time that I felt any sense of direction, that I had any feeling of a passion, any feeling of I have to do this, and how soon can I do this? When can this happen? How can this happen? I didn't know what it was going to take for me to do it, but I just knew inside of me that it was something that I had to do. From there, I threw myself into assisting, into learning. I signed up for an apprenticeship program that not everybody at that time that I was doing it was aware of it. And so that even happened to me by total coincidence. More on that on another episode. But little by little, I built a life within the hair industry that gave me stability and gave me purpose. And it connected me to parts of myself that I wasn't even aware needed connecting. That's the beauty of the hair industry. You get as much out of it as you want to put into it. So that's what this podcast is about, my story. And the bigger message, no matter where you start in life, you're not stuck. You can find purpose, you can build something, and you can rewrite your script. Next time, I'm going to take you deeper into what life in the hood is really like, the lessons I carry from that time, and how they still show up in my work today. Thank you for tuning in to the very first episode of From the Hood to Hair, and I can't wait to share the rest of this journey with you. See you next time.